Okay, we are back in Friendsim 2.
Load.
Alright, which is the
Load
correct
slot
one?
2. Load slot 1. Load
Okay,
slot
here's
2.
12,
Wednesday.
15,
May. Load slot
9.
3.
Oh yeah,
Wednesday.
we were just about to do these.
How did they get involved with the rebels?
Kinda hard to believe, isn't it? For a long time, I didn't want to take any more risks. But then something funny happened. There was this regular in my stream who seemed pretty chill. I looked up his profile and he and I got to talking. Normally, I wouldn't have done something like that, especially not high blood. But I don't know. He, had a good vibe. Did me some solid favors. He had all these ideas about resisting the Empire, hacking into drones, really causing some ruckus. Said he had this friend who showed up and inspired him. I was like, no shit, you too?
Wait, do they mean?
Yep. Recognize the sign on your hoodie.
Malak. You're always hyped to get more backstory on your hacker friend. It looks like he's really managed to get some traction on this whole revolution thing.
So, yeah. One thing led to another. Now I'm running transmissions for some crew of like-minded renegades I've barely even met. But we're tight as hell. Guess we both got you to thank. You kinda seriously changed my life, to be honest.
Why the new look?
Things change with the times, my dude. You gotta ride the wave or get swept under.
Well, yeah, you get that. But they used to say the influencers were the ones that set the trends.
What's wrong with my clothes? You think I wouldn't dress like this if it wasn't to do numbers on TikTok? Can't believe you really think I'm that shallow. Rude, TBH.
Ugh, no, you didn't mean it that way. You would never accuse your dear friend Kirava of doing inauthentic things online to get a reaction out of people. Perish the thought.
Foul, you got so much more bitchy over the years. But it's cool. I think it suits you, kinda. Gives you an edge.
Thanks. Yeah, you're going with thanks. Why grits pop?
Like I said, Moisture Wave's dead. Long live Moisture Wave.
Yeah, but why grits pop specifically? You're asking what Kirava likes about it?
It's like scratching an itch in your pan. The chaos really embodies how it feels, you know?
How? What feels?
The Mal. Everything.
About the relay. You asked Kirava a little more about the relay that Marsty picked up. Is that the sort of thing they're doing out here?
You bet. That last list was a big group of trolls the Empire disappeared recently. Some jobs, they pull you off your socials and nobody knows if you lived or died. Basically, those are who's left after we confirmed alivance on the others. Sent it out to see if any folks know where they are.
So, the rebels haven't found anyone on the list.
Sadly.
Could Kirava penetrate any deeper into the Empire's system? Maybe. Try to get more info?
What's with the stereotypes, Foul? I'm not a hacker. I just run the comms.
Sorry, you meant could the rebels have found out anything more?
Sorry, pal. That's all we got.
For a moment, Kirava looked suddenly serious.
Hey, so while we're talking, I mean, I don't want to get into your business or anything, but let's talk about your friend for a sec.
Marsty. Respectfully, you hope this isn't some sort of brand lecture or advice about internet popularity.
What? No. I'm not 7 anymore, give me some credit. Is she alright, Lamal?
Marsty. You hope so. That's just what you were worried about. You can't seem to get your mind off of it?
Keep your voice down! I mean, is she keeping it together?
Keeping it together? You guess she was pretty angry.
She fucking snapped, Lamal. It happens. All trolls get like that sometimes, not just high bloods. It's just that the lower castes like us aren't encouraged to throw our weight around. And high bloods are stereotyped as always going off their shit. And you know what they say? Life mimics art.
You really wouldn't know what they say. You guess that's part of the whole problem here.
So, at the risk of coming off as, nosy as fuck, she's clearly running herself ragged. Coming out here in the first place was already desperate and stupid, so like, what the fuck is up with that?
In retrospect, you agree. But you try to explain Marsti is just like that. There's nothing you can do once she's made up her mind.
That's obnoxious. Real inconsiderate to her friend she's lugging around. Maybe she should, like, cut that out. Or get a moirail or something. Lamau.
Oh. Are they suggesting?
What? Oh, no, not me. I couldn't moirail a hive plant, Lamau. Just speaking generally.
Wow. You have no idea where to even start on that front. You don't think Marsti has any quadrants. You're not even sure she has a lot of friends, and the opportunities right now are a little slim. Not to mention, she seems a little preoccupied. On top of all that, you wouldn't even say you and Marsti are super duper friendly right now. Or before. Or ever. You're more like a stubborn acquaintance who's attached yourself to her side. You totally lack the rapport to give her that kind of counsel. You remember how well that went the first time you met her. Not very. Kirava shrugs.
Just take it as, like, friendly advice. Or forget I said anything, Lamau, that's probably even better.
Okay, sure. You will add it to the pile of things you're trying to forget. With any luck, you will forget about the daunting size of the pile first.
Say, how about you and I cook up some magic while we're waiting for your friend to calm down?
Cook. Magic. You're pretty hungry, and right now you're pretty certain you've always had an inexplicable fondness for wizards. They can count you in.
Sick. I mean, I don't know about wizards, best I can offer is some cut ramen and MREs. But I think you and I could whip up some really slick imagery. How about you help me make the thumbnail for my next video?
Really? That's a lot of responsibility. It's their life's work we're talking about here.
I've only got one rule. Don't work with a head injury. Come on at Alien Invasion of 1, you're my only hope.
Not one to let a friend down, you're already rolling up your sleeves. Let's make the grittiest, poppiest thumbnail the world's ever seen. Oh holy shit, that's a whole fucking lot. Like, this is.
Let's see here.
Oh
what is the option
holy.
to turn all of this off?
Accessibility option. Accessibility options. Main accessibility options select accessibility options.
Maybe
Help select keyboard. Enter advances dialogue and activates the interface. Space advances dialogue without selecting choices. Close menu. Oh holy shit, that's a whole fucking lot.
H, there we go. Bam. Look at that.
Oh holy shit, that's a whole fucking lot. It's a lot. Kirava shrugs and laughs, and you guess that's kind of the whole point here, but, still, a lot.
Can I click on this stuff? Oh, nice. Cycle to the canvas background. Fighting Dreamer. Oh, jeez. Naruto fans. Ugh. Do. Selected the canvas part. Okay.
Selected.
Click and drag or
selected.
Oh. Is it on a different layer or something?
Selected. Selected. Select.
Oh, is all this in like a different spot?
Select.
Yeah, I got that guy selected. There he is. Well,
Active. Selected.
okay, I guess for whatever reason, this just, oh, okay. So use this
Activate.
to add a part to the thing. Okay.
Select.
You gotta have a bunch of arrows. There, pointing at fighting Breeder. There we go. Good enough.
Yeah, little dude, that shit's looking dope.
Kirava laughs and gives you a thumbs up.
Yeah, nice job. You want to go ahead and save this, or you want to try and make it even better?
You're really happy with this one.
Yeah.
While you were working, Kirava got you a cup noodle hot and fresh from the microwave, tucked into the unspeakable corner. You slurp noisily while the master assesses the student's work. You're the student. It's you. Kirava takes a long while, their thumb and finger resting on their stubbly chin. You're hanging off the edge of your seat, which right now is one of the milk crates you've pulled alongside the workstation.
Fucking wow. You did it again. This is, like, on a whole other level of stupid.
Is that bad?
Are you kidding me? It's perfect. I'm posting it to Chitter, like, instantly. They are gonna eat this up, you have no idea. Won't be able to give you the credsies, though. You know how it is. With all the discourse going on.
No, you get it? Besides, you didn't do it for credit. You did it for the most important reward of all. One.
Friendship?
Ooh, message.
Select Kirava. Friendship. At streams 4 sweeps. At streams 4 sweeps. Selected. Kirava.
It's friendship, right? Come on, please just tell me it's friendship.
Kirava.
It is most certainly
Selected.
not friendship.
Kirava. Man, please
holy
just
shit,
tell
that
me
is
it's
just
friendship
the
at streams
worst.
4 sweeps. At streams 4 sweeps.
Disaster
New video
Life-
dropping now. LOL. Check
Okay, I'm
GrubTube.
thinking Disaster
You
Life
guys are
must
not
be-
ready for this thumbnail. 1400 and
Oh shit, who?
Kirava. Select
In a green. A
Kirava.
greeny or an olive
Bar-
or whatever.
Kir-
There's a jade. Whatever.
Kirava. Friendship. The reward is friendship.
Dope.
You log on to your own Chitter so you can see Kirava's post, and you make sure to give it a like and a reshare. You also take the opportunity to scroll through your timeline a little, continuing the friendship appreciating vibes as you browse a parade of familiar usernames. Oh, shit, that reminds you. You almost forgot. Oh, Selected. Oh,
New video,
shit,
Okay.
that reminds you.
Allow, get
You
fucked.
almost forgot. Select. Oh,
we're
shit,
gonna go dark
that
for a little
reminds
bit.
you.
Not doing great.
You almost forgot. One at Selling Guffers. One at Selling Guffers. Oh, shit,
Here's
that- selected. Oh,
Might be
shit,
off Chitter for a
that
bit.
remind, might,
Gotta
oh,
lay-
shit,
gotta
that
take care
reminds
of
you.
some stuff.
You
Silly
might be off
fucker.
Chitter for a bit.
We need to
Gotta
fucking-
take care of, oh, shit,
Okay.
that reminds you.
What is it? Zebra
Oh,
and,
shit,
oh,
that
we're
reminds
going
you.
on.
You almost forgot. At Selling Guffers, at Selling Guffers, gonna go dark for a little bit, not doing great, 5,713 2,567, just now at Selling Guffers, anyone selected, oh,
Okay.
shit, you start to explain to Kirava the circumstances of your being here, and what you can offer them. A way off of Alternia. A place where none of the threats of the Empire or the pressures they or Marsti are experiencing will ever be a problem again. Then you remember. Skyla and Konya still saw Antesius. Some people have reasons to stay. You wonder what Kiarava wants?
Me? Damn, that's a tough question. Leave everything I work so hard for.
Kiarava
1.
selected.
Unapologetic swag. Why are you doing plus this to us?
Kiarava, leave everything I work so hard.
Who's
Kiarava,
unapologetic swag?
leave everything I work so hard for. Selected. Selected.
No,
selected.
Marvis is,
Kiarava, leave everything
The
I work
epic
so
highs
hard
and lows
for.
of Grits Pop streaming. My Empire beats, and all the other rebels and Siravites counting on me, but also not have a death sentence hanging over my head.
A somber look falls on Kiarava's face. They bury their hands into the pockets of their corduroy trousers.
I'm gonna level with you. Normally I wouldn't tell you this, wouldn't show weakness and stuff. But between you and me, I know my days are numbered one way or another. I'm getting too old for the scene, you know? The writing's on the wall. I'm losing subscribers all the time. Maybe it's time to pass the metaphorical torch. What do you think I should do?
Save slot.
You
Save
said
slot
save
3.
scum. There we
When
go.
save slot.
don't need that
Save
one again.
save.
Well, we're probably gonna go.
Stay and help.
Route. Actually,
Load.
I
Load.
think we
Load-
took
load
the first
slot.
call.
Feel a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, that's the point. But it's cool. To be fair, you have to have an ear pressed pretty hard to the zeitgeist to really appreciate the subtleties of Grits Pop. You gotta really be with it.
You're with it. You're definitely with it. You love being overwhelmed. Based purely on the situations you keep finding yourself in, it must be one of your favorite hobbies.
You can really tell it's a different artist for these two characters right here, but not saying one's bad. It's just just saying. Just saying. You know.
Wow, you're like even more deranged than I remember. Which I guess is my way of saying I missed you. Anyway, glad you can appreciate what I'm doing out here.
So you're a musician?
No, Lamar, I don't produce anymore.
Okay, that's the only difference there.
Load.
So we
Load-
can
Load.
forget that one.
Load.
Just go back here.
Load slot. Leave it
Leave
all behind.
behind.
You can see it in their tired eyes. They want out. Not just from the Empire, but from the perilous shackles of being an internet micro-celebrity. They just don't have it in them to do it on their own. Maybe even the negative attention validates their persecution complex, or gratifies their self-hatred, or something like that. Internet is a hell of a drug. Don't worry, Kiarava. No troll is an island, and you're building a raft. Or some version of that analogy that makes sense.
I get where you're coming from, but it's hard to even imagine myself doing something else. This is literally the only shit that's ever made sense to me. The only shit I've been able to think mattered.
That's not true at all, you tell them. There's something they're forgetting. Something they've had for as long as they've known you.
What are you talking about? Wait. Oh god. If you say friendship.
Friendship. While Kiarava is busy being impressed with you, Marsti returns through the front door. It almost takes you out of your euphoric stupor. While
Message. Another one from
Selected.
Karava.
While Kiarava is busy being impressed with you,
You know, I
Marsti
forgot it's
returns
actually
through the
something
front
else
door.
dividing people for a
It
change
almost
when
takes
they're
you
not
out of,
backstabbing
while
stuff.
Kiarava, selected, while Kiarava is, a moment of awkward silence hangs between the three of you. Her anger seems drained out of her, and neither you or Kiarava seem to know what to say.
Sorry for the desk.
Nah, it's cool. It's not like you're wrong about me. Who the fuck am I to judge?
I did hit you with a wrench.
No worries. It's precipitation under the traversement planks. Truce?
Yeah, truce.
Kiarava and Marsti shake on it. It's a chilly agreement, but you'll take it? Mutual respect born from necessity is better than nothing, and right now it seems like all these two can give. Progress.
Hey, since we're friendly and all, we should celebrate.
Kirava produces the weird bug boopy pen you remember from a cluttered corner of the computer desk. Oh shit, it might even be the same one.
Consider it a peace offering, if you're up for it.
What the hey? You wouldn't mind a little chill out assistance, for as long as the daylight traps you down in this bunker. Your game.
I think I'll pass.
Okay, but you might get kinda hotboxed. This room is, like, small and not well ventilated, Lamel.
It's fine.
Cool. Let's get faded as hell.
Kirava starts by dimming the lights. They clean the mouthpiece with some paper towels and rubbing alcohol on the desk. Then they take a deep inhale without actually touching their lips to it, and hand you the bug. You follow their lead. It doesn't even weird you out this time. You hold it in your chest for 1 heartbeat, 2, then let it back out in a cloudy spiral. Hey, you might actually be getting pretty good at this. Neato. In no time at all your body is comfortable and distant. You soak in the colors and shapes and get nicely situated down on the bunker floor in a little nest of crumpled papers and cans. Your trash brethren surround you. You and your new garbage family have so much in common. Right now, Kirava's home feels nice and insulating both from the heat of the outside and the chaos of Alternian life. Even Marsti seems a bit relaxed. Her head leans back onto the couch, her eyes closed. You just watch her breathe for a while, suddenly relieved and grateful that she's alive. You're high enough that the sentiment doesn't seem totally weird.
So, what's your story?
Me?
Yeah. You came all this way just to help somebody?
Not somebody. A gold blood. Named Follicle. She had void rot. They're probably shipping her out to be a heatsink for some carrier's ship's supercomputer. I want to know what happened to her. Thought that if I was lucky enough to get a chance to help someone for once, I should take it. So here I am.
Damn. Sorry, I can't help. The rest of the data was locked down pretty tight. Best I can do is try to ask the rebels to get you a ride out of here.
It's fine. I'm just lucky not to be dead.
Did you, know her super well or something?
Not really.
Then what the hell are you doing, Lamel? You're risking your own hide after all.
Just worked out that way. Might as well try, now that I'm a fugitive.
Shit. There's the guilt. Mercifully numbed by your lightheadedness.
What were you up to? Before you were a fugitive?
Attack pilot. I was due for the front lines by next sweep.
A dogfighter? Shit. I would have run too, Lamel.
I didn't run. I never even thought of running. Running would just mean that some other rust blood would have to fly my ship.
Kirava passes you the pen again. You take a couple more deep breaths that pull you farther and farther away from the emotional immediacy of the conversation. The sadness is distant, like from an old memory.
You could now, though, right? Your friend was telling me about how they can get us out of here. You got a take on that?
Marsti looks to you. Your good vibes curdle a little under her focus. You've never really understood her at all.
You know who we kill out there, right? Aliens like you. Millions of them. For every dead rust blood, there's probably 100 people that did nothing wrong besides exist in the Empire's way. Have you ever thought about that?
What? No, weirdly. Wow. That's really, really sad.
I don't fight the Empire. Somebody else flies my ship. Sounds like the worst of both worlds.
All the best. Bad shit's gonna happen either way. At least in this plan, you're not fucking dead, Lamel.
Maybe.
Sounds like that's not enough for you, though.
I'm losing my train of thought.
I warned you, Lamel.
Why this? Why any of it?
You mean the streaming?
Yeah. I never understood the internet.
You sound like 500 sweeps old.
Marsti shrugs. Her question sits in the air, unanswered.
I don't know. Something kind of magic about how even when everything in the world seems so broken, you can just log on and find some guy out there making the coolest shit you've ever seen in your life. I want to be a part of the few good things this world has to offer. Is that so wrong?
Liking something doesn't mean it helps anybody.
I know. But if we don't have things we like, what's the point?
Either I'm high, or you're suddenly very persuasive.
Why can't it be both?
You should really let me clean in here.
Huh? No, I don't need you to, clean up after me. That feels kinda icky to me, Castways.
Shut up. Don't make it weird.
Castaways sounds kind of like castaways. Islands, trash, left behinds like snakeskin. This is all really important to you suddenly, though the details of your epiphany are a little hazy. Marsti stands up and finds, with some difficulty, some cleaning implements. She goes up to the desk and starts inspecting the RGB keyboard.
Whoa, careful with Casper. He's delicate.
Relax. I won't break it. I know what a computer is.
She overturns it and a little avalanche of tiny crumbs and dust comes rattling out. A startling giggle erupts out of your throat, while she starts picking up the litter off the desk and sweeping the surface.
Okay, this is getting weird, lol. You guys can have the couch for tonight. I'll sleep in the closet. Yell if you need me.
You yell if you need me, at a volume unknown to you determined by your intoxicated mind. Marsti snorts and Kirava disappears into the room's second door, leaving the two of you alone. You climb yourself up onto the couch and bundle in for the day. Marsti stays awake, collecting your trash brothers into a bin. She wipes down walls and desks and takes apart electronics and displays to blow away the dust. The rustling of clutter and sweeping of floors is soothing. Before long, you fall deeply asleep to the sound of her reassembling keycaps on Casper's glyph board. 2. Sometime later, you wake up to a clean bunker. You have just enough time to take in how renewed the place feels before Kirava sets down a fresh MRE on a milk crate in front of you. Freshly reheated, anyway. 2. Sometime later. Selected.
This world is a hell, so we can't wait to run out and conquer the next one for them. But that equals hell too.
Selected.
Marvelous. Don't get me wrong, love it up here, just wish it were a bit less the way it is, you know.
Select. Sometime later, you wake
Evening,
up to a
little
clean
dude.
bunker.
About time
you
you
have just
woke up,
enough time
Mel.
to take in how you thank Kirava for the food and start digging in. What time is it? You can't tell underground with no windows.
Just about evening now. Got in touch with the rebels yesterday, too. It'll be tough, but they think they can swing an escape mission our way in, half a perigee?
Half a perigee. You should probably have a clearer idea of what that means, by now. It sounds like a long time. Across the room, Marsti is helping herself to her own cup noodle. Kirava cracks open an energy drink and gets a good head start on it before she finishes her mouthful and speaks.
I've thought about it, and I've made up my mind. I'm going to that tower.
Kirava sputters comically, but manages not to get energy drink all over the newly cleaned floor. You also nearly choke on some rehydrated carrot-like mash.
Okay, I've been meaning to ask. Are you guys actually out of your minds? You know who runs that place, right?
Some stuck-up high-blood who'd murder me without a second thought? It's all the same with the Empire.
Not just any stuck-up high blood. Ardita Kamiya. She got hired to take over about the same time I moved in.
Oh, so finally they bring in Ardata. I guess it's Ardata.
Oh, Ardata. You know Ardata. She was one of the first friends you made when you landed here. At saying so, Marsti and Kirava both look at you with expressions bordering fear or at the very least severe concern. Kirava composes themselves in a moment, adjusting their stylish eye patch.
You really get around, huh? How'd you end up meeting someone like her anyway?
You relate the story of becoming trapped in her murder dungeon for a while. Okay, trapped in her murder dungeon sounds bad, you're aware. And it was. You are not necessarily trying to say the two of you were best friends, even if she was attempting friendship at her highest capacity. Which is a little sad, now that you think about it. But you still think you can use this to your advantage. She knows you, and maybe even likes you, so it's possible you could talk her down? Distract her, while Marsti is in there doing whatever she's planning on doing. What is the plan, anyway?
You said the rest of the data was too encrypted. But if I can get in and find a terminal with clearance, that's not a problem. I can find out where Follicle is and if she needs help.
Right. And you can provide backup, if worst comes to worst.
Can't believe you're actually encouraging her, Lamel. This is the worst plan I've heard in my life.
Saying you won't help?
No, I'll help. I'm just saying it's dangerous. It can't only be a signal tower. Not with the amount of people they take in versus the people that come out. Part of my being down here is to know as much about her operations as possible. And while there's a lot I don't know, what I have seen, I don't want to see more of it. If you get what I'm saying.
I get you. But I also don't care. What you do is your own decision. I'm going. The alien can stay with you and wait for the rebels. And you can forget I was ever here and go back to your live streams.
Sounds kind of like you're judging me again.
I'm not. Honest. This is just something I have to do.
You stand up off of the couch. No way are you letting her go in there alone. She can count you in. And Kirava, she can count on you too, right? After all, this is exactly what the rebellion is for. Helping trolls in need. It's the perfect opportunity to do some good. To prove that the rebellion can do some good. Kirava sits there for a long moment, their hands buried in their pockets. Finally a long sigh leaves their husk, their head tilted back against their chair.
If this gets me cold, I'm gonna be so pissed. Come on.
They stand, and make their way into the same closet they'd retired to sleep in. You and Marsti follow. Kirava leads you into a small room connected to the rest of the bunker. It's dark and cramped, most of the floor space eaten up by some sort of utility machinery that looks like it would be really complicated to draw.
So they just didn't.
Okay, so here it is. Hope you got your tickets to the gun show.
You're trying to decide if that's funny when it's actual guns. Why are they so colorful?
Come on, you expect the rebellion to set me up here totally unarmed? It's not enough to take on the whole empire, but it's enough to make myself a little bit of a nuisance if they finally do track me down.
That's not what you asked. But okay. You take a look at the available arms.
You're giving us weapons.
Don't get me wrong, this probably won't help you to, survive. But if shit goes bad in there, maybe at least you can do some damage, you know?
If I'm unarmed, there's a chance I'll just be arrested. With these, I'll be killed for sure.
If it's Auditor, then that's seriously preferable. Trust me, Lamel.
I'm not disagreeing. I'll take the shotgun. Should be possible to hide it under my jacket.
You know, I kind of wish
S20 Skull Masher.
Oh.
Type, shotgun. Manufacturer, id, some dude in a basement. Notes, it's amazing that this thing even works correctly. Marsti, I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah, I'm kind of wishing
I'll
they
take
would've
the
come up with,
shotgun.
weird alien names
Should
for
be
the
possible
things
to
or whatever.
T69 tactical sling. Type, weapon ready. Actually you're pretty sure Kirava just took an old belt, converted it to a sling, and wrote T69 on it in marker. IM-413 Advanced Tactical Rifle. Type: Modular Rifle. Manufacturer: Alternian Fleet Advanced Projects. Notes: can be used in either a sniper or assault configuration. Marst, K13 Cobret. Type: SMG. Manufacturer: Interplanar Industries. Notes: the rate of fire is exceeded only by its tendency to overheat during prolonged use. LP9 self-defense weapon. Type: laser pistol. Manufacturer: you're not sure, the marking is faded. Notes: for some reason, it has the ability to overcharge the pistol, causing it to explode.
Alright, I have to have the
Marsty M25 Tactical Noodles. Marsty M25 Tactical Noodles. Type: field ration. Manufacturer: Troll Maruchan. Notes: comes in one of 7 unambiguously differentiated flavors. S37 Tactical Screwdriver. Type: field tool / stabbing implement. Manufacturer: Home Despot. Notes: good for driving screws and also stabbing. Literally just a mop. Marsty, I'm anti-personnel ammo. This looks like hollow point ammo designed to do extra damage to soft, fleshy things. Wait, you're a soft, fleshy thing. Oh no. Armor-piercing ammo. Ammo with a hardened core designed to punch through even the thickest armor. It looks expired though. Incendiary ammo. Look, you've got a bad track record with fire, generally speaking. You're not touching this, a can of matte spray paint. Maybe Kirava was planning to eventually paint over the garish colors on these. Oh wait, explosive pink. Never mind, the exact opposite of that thing. Marsty, I'm not disagreeing.
As for the alien,
I'll take the shotgun.
do you have anything with
Should
absolutely
be possible to
no
hide it
kick?
under my jacket. Marsty looks to you when you react with a puzzled, mildly offended expression.
Scrawny arms, remember?
Oh yeah. Laser pistol.
Kirava hands you a modest, Technicolor gun with an organic shape along the underside of the barrel. It's about as heavy as a juice bottle, and resembles a lot of the strange Alternian biotech you've seen along your adventures.
Careful with that thing, it gets hot. You can rig it to explode if you misalign the capacitor, so like, make sure not to do that on accident. Lamel.
It's dawning on you that you're actually going to be carrying a weapon. Are you supposed to fire this thing? At a person? You're not sure you're cut out for it?
I'd actually prefer if you didn't. Ideally, I can get in and out without them noticing. I just want you to have the option in a complete emergency.
Exactly how are you planning to do that?
Say I'm here for repairs, or sneak in through a side entrance. Nobody cares about one rust blood on their own as long as you keep your head down.
Kirava shakes their head.
No way. This isn't like the rest of the station. They have cameras everywhere. And no Burgundy's gonna get in except for... Wait. I might have an idea, actually.
Now that you're armed and dangerous, or in your case, armed and shaking like a small dog, you're starting to wonder if this is really a good idea. Kirava warned you that Marsty might not be in her best state of mind. Maybe you shouldn't have been so quick to support such a dangerous plan. While you're thinking it over, Kirava sits down at their desk and types a few messages into a program you don't recognize. Moments later, they get a reply. This goes back and forth for a while, long enough that Marsty leans herself against the wall to wait. In about half an hour, something prints out of one of the machines tucked under Kirava's desk. They take it out, turn around, and hand it to her. 1.
Okay, I got you this.
Self-voicing disabled.
First things first. Buy my fucking album already, Slaughterfly.
Welcome to the 23rd core processor unit. Got a little supply cart in the closet you can hide the alien in. This should be enough to get you in the front doors. No promises about anything after.
You're not endangering yourself, are you? Or your friends? The rebellion? Whoever got this for me?
These are dangerous times. We're risking our lives just by existing. But even you walked in here and put me and my operation to shame, you know? Pointed out how I'm just waiting down here for the end, without even getting a chance to pay the Empire back for what they've done. So this is like, literally the least I could do.
That's not true at all. I'm willing to do this alone.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have worked. I'm still 100% convinced you'll die in there, Lamau, but I can't just let you go in with nothing. So take the idea already.
Self-voicing enabled. Marsti concedes, clipping the ID card to the front of her coat. There's a sense of finality to it that makes you realize this is all definitely happening. For everyone's sake, you hope our data remembers you as fondly as possible. You hope your own memories of her aren't too warped by Doc Scratch's narratively induced friend lust to be useful. You hope you'll know what to say to her when the time comes. If the time comes, you're doing a lot of hoping, in summation. But you have to. If Marsti's not willing to turn back, then how can you? It's for Follicle's sake, too. In a way, this is your own chance for redemption.
Which how much they're bringing up our data, I think it's probably going to be a lot easier than expected, or maybe just as hard as expected, but whatever. I think they're going to pull a...
If I'm going to do this, I should probably go as soon as possible. Is there any way to get closer to the base?
Yeah, sure. Follow me again.
Kiravo leads you through a narrow access shaft branching off the utilities closet, the little supply cart in tow. For now, it carries the weapons out of sight. You, Kirava and Marsti have to press to the wall in a line to make your way down the corridor alongside what you guess are water pipes. Or slime pipes, maybe. You know Alternians love a good gelatinous slime. Soon you emerge at what you guess is a back door, heavily barricaded. Kirava takes a moment to unlock and remove the bars and boards, and pushes them open against a mound of shifting sands. Soon, multicolor moonlight washes in from above, bright over their shoulders.
Okay, this is it. As far as I go.
Thanks. And goodbye, I guess. If I don't see you.
So long, morbid weirdo. And you. Come here.
Kirava holds out their arms. Oh. You get it? Without hesitation, you bring yourself in for a surprisingly tight hug from such a guarded, on-brand individual. Kirava pats your shoulder a couple times, even adjusts your hood for you.
I don't want to distract you, and I know I can't talk you out of it, but, like, you're one of the few people I know that I think are genuinely really chill, so it was nice to see you again. Please survive, or I'm gonna be, like, really depressed, Lamau.
Oh, shit. Well, no way you're gonna die now. You can't let them down, too. Kirava and Marsti's farewell is a little cooler, just a firm handshake. Still, you're proud of the two of them for coming this far. Not just in friendship, but in general.
You ready?
Not exactly, but you tell her you're the next best thing to ready, you're morally obliged.
Alright, let's go.
The stars shine down as the two of you approach the main entrance. You have a narrow visual, hidden inside the cart. You're lucky this place is approachable by foot from any of the bases on the satellite. You don't know how you'd explain her getting here without a transport otherwise. Even with that advantage, and the ID badge clipped to her jacket, you're nervous.
Hey, if something goes wrong, I want you to run. Around the perimeter of the building. They'll get a shot if you try to make it for the dunes, okay?
Before you can reply, the wheels of your little Heidi cart make the transition from sand to the shiny surface of the Imperial walkway. This is really happening. You slip a hand into the pocket of your hoodie, too nervous to even grip the handle of the laser pistol tucked within. You're close to the door, now. There's some shuffling, but you can't tell what's happening. Marsti's voice comes from above, out of view.
Rutisha Lefford, core processor. Scheduled cleanup.
Your heart nearly stops in your chest while you wait. There's a few moments of perilous silence before absolutely nothing happens. The guards let you advance, and you and Marsty head into the base. This is it. You've made it in. You're still mentally confirming to yourself that you're not full of bullets or actually running from guards right now, when Marsty pulls the rolling cart to the side of the hall and slides its bin from the frame. You crawl out, laser pistol tucked into the pocket of your hoodie. This is probably some serious violation of gun safety, but then again, you're not sure how a laser pistol differs from a regular handgun anyway. Marsty takes out the shotgun and straps it to her back, hidden under her coat.
I'm pretty sure the same 4 rules apply to laser guns and normal guns, but whatever.
As she does so, she looks up and down the hallways. You follow suit, but you don't see anybody.
Exactly. Why is it so empty in here? This place is huge. They have to have more staff than the 2 trolls outside.
Maybe it's some kind of troll holiday. They could all be out on break. Marsty gives you a look bordering exhaustion and disgust.
Let's talk less, starting now. We have a console to find.
Sure, but you're not entirely sure where to start looking. None of these doors are labeled, and they all look the same. The hallways curve disorientingly, so you can never tell exactly how far you've come since entering. The distinct feeling of being a rat in a trap slowly re-emerges in your belly. You manage not to say out loud that you have a bad feeling about this. Even you aren't that obvious. But the hallways remain stunningly, bafflingly empty. Marsty stops by the next door and presses her ear to it for a moment. She taps on its control panel a few times to no avail.
Damn! Cover for me.
Yes. Sure. Okay. You hand the pistol in your pocket and watch the halls, managing not to shake apart completely while Marsty tries to gain access.
These panels are cheaply made. The wires rub up against the frame and corrode.
How does she know so much weird stuff, anyway? You know what she said, but you think you need to make some small conversation or you might explode into nervous confetti.
How do you know so many people? What should I expect from this Ardata woman?
Wasn't she an officer on your base?
She's not my officer, just an officer. I've never seen her before. Clearly, she's in some weird division of the Empire if this is her building.
What to expect from her? Well, she's not everything she seems. Marsty bumps the edge of her fist against the security panel a few times, trying 2 or 3 different places and angles.
Oh yeah? How so?
It's hard to say. You do your best to describe her. Maybe unstable, in a word?
That's great. Just what we need.
It's not all bad. Her whole sadistic high blood shtick is a farce. She has no actual passion for it. Hey, who's to say that might not work in our favor? Maybe she won't be able to bring herself to care that we're here. She might even let us go.
I wouldn't bet on it. There. Got it.
The door pops open. You and Marsty quickly slip inside. But as you turn to walk into the room, you bump into her legs. Marsty has planted herself firmly by the entrance. You move around to see what stopped her, and, oh.
It's another murder dungeon, okay.
This is grim. You get what Kirava meant, now. You try not to feel any fainter than you already do. You tell yourself you've definitely seen worse, and you have, but that isn't the help you were expecting. Marsty focuses you with a narrowed, critical look. But she looks as drained as you feel.
This is your friend.
Not exactly. She wasn't. Well, yes, she was like this before. Just not as well funded, maybe. At least there's nobody trapped in cages this time.
How do you make friends with someone like that?
Well, it was more like, you were hungry, and she offered food, and then trapped you in her house and had a sort of mental breakdown in front of you after a bunch of terrible stuff happened. Physically. To your skeleton. At saying so, Marsty's expression shifts, but you still suspect she doesn't want to hear about it. She just turns away and starts looking for another door. Works for you, This is clearly no place to hang around. You help her start examining around the room. Maybe there's some sort of adjacent, processing, block. You don't want to think about the details too hard. Anywhere with a computer console will do. After prodding around some of the more gruesome implements for a while, careful not to touch anything too bloodied. Do they never even clean their implements on this goddamn planet? One hinges off the wall strangely. A rough, heaving sound comes from the far wall as a hidden door swings open.
Ooh.
You and Marsty look at it with suspicion, mostly. Good to be on the same page. This has danger written all over it?
Obviously, but there's no point in playing it safe now.
That seems possibly untrue.
Then stay out here and wait.
If you have an argument, there's no time to give it. She's headed into the room, and short of grabbing her, you doubt you could stop her. You reluctantly make your way inside. The adjacent room is a hollow concrete box with minimal furnishings. You have just enough time to recognize the terrible, sinking feeling in your gut when the door slams shut behind you. Moments later, a horrible, familiar, pealing laughter echoes around the room from speakers unseen. This is a trap. You've been set up?
Damn it! They knew we were coming.
A whirring noise comes from one of the wall panels beside you. Save slot. Save slot. A whirring noise comes from one of the wall panels beside you. Think fast. You're too slow. A hand grabs you roughly by the jacket and drags you out of the way. Behind you, a sickening wet sound hits the air and a few drops of red hit the ground in front of you. You freeze.
Don't stop moving!
Close, too close. Quick, got to find a way out of here. You're shoved out of the way, and a terrible noise comes from behind you, then a heavy thump. Marsty.
Uh-oh. Alright, let's try left then right.
The council will see you now. Eh-hee-hee-hee. Eh-ah-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha. What, is this funny to them? Whoever they are. Sylph of Rage, of course it's funny. Sylph of Rage, don't worry. You can't really die. You're too important for that. Before you can reply, the world starts to eke back in at the corners. The adjacent room is a hollow concrete box with minimal furnishing. Moments later, a horrible, this is a trap.
Damn it!
You've been
They
set
knew
up.
we were coming.
A whirring noise comes from one of the wall panels beside you. Close, too close. Quick,
Oh, it's a
got to
different
find a
original.
way out of here. Yikes. Another
Okay.
close one. You use your precious seconds to scan the walls. There, a wall vent. The two of you can escape that way. You turn to tell Marsty, and the two of you race towards freedom. Made it? Barely. The two of you reach the wall. Marsty grabs the grate and yanks, hard. To your surprise, the thing comes free.
Go! Now!
She's already lifted you up to the lip of the vent before you can make any other decision. A horrible, sickening wet sound comes from somewhere behind you. You're tempted to look, but there's no time. You finish dragging yourself into the vent, turning around as fast as you can to grab Marsty's hands and pull her up. To your relief, her hand clasps around your tiny wrists and you heave her to safety with all of your meager might. You press to the edge so she can scoot past, gaining a much desired distance from the room of death traps. In doing so, she leaves a vivid maroon stripe behind her. Your breath seizes up. Marsty flicks a lighter to life, illuminating the confined space you're now in with a soft, yellow glow. You look down to see if you can see how badly she's injured.
I'm okay. It's not that deep.
You don't see any major injury, but there's blood oozing from an irregular tear in the skin, and you're not sure you believe her. She must have gotten clipped by one of the traps before after all.
My bag. The gauze.
Right. Your brain starts to work again, you help get it out for her while she sheds her jacket. She wets some with an antiseptic and carefully cleans the wound.
Fuck!
Will she be okay? Has it hit anything vital?
I'm fine. I can stitch it up in a minute. I just need...
She trails off, her gaze floating into the distance. The adrenaline and shock are starting to fade from your mind, and you can think clearly. Rushing in to take their places. Anger. Yes, actually. You're angry. What the hell is she thinking?
What?
You get this is for follicle. You want to help too, but that doesn't mean she gets to be stupid. She can't just take dumb risks like that. She's been throwing herself at every danger, pushing herself to limits. Why? Why is she acting like it doesn't matter what happens to her?
Stop telling me what to do!
Her eyes are red, her voice loud enough to ring in your tiny metal resting place. But you don't feel in danger. Not from this poor troll heaving for breath in front of you. The pain is making her sweat, and that's when you see it. The scars from other fights or close calls, scattered along her arms and shoulders.
Every day is like this for me. I am such a hypocrite. I was living just like Sarava, doing what I liked, getting by, surviving. I know what I am. I know I don't have much time, but my time is all I have. Why can't I use it to help someone? Why can't I?
Her head is bowed, but teardrops are staining the fabric over her lap. You don't speak. You think she needs a moment to compose herself. Wordlessly, she fishes back into the emergency bag for something, painkillers. She chews two and follows them with a little bit of water from her canteen. You wait until both of your breathing settles down and she seems to be more comfortable. You tell her she's wrong. She can help people. But she can't do it alone.
Who can I trust? Even the other Rustbloods. They have to look out for themselves. That's how it is. Maybe it would be easy to resist. If it wasn't a choice between life or death. I'd never blame them, but it seems so impossible.
And yet she tried anyway. You take her wrist in your little hand. That's special. Too special to die in here. You're going to make sure she gets out, no matter what.
Why are you here? Why does any of this even matter to you? It's not your problem. Not even your planet. Don't you have your own issues back home?
Back home, you guess she's right. As much as your memories from Earth are really of home. Things aren't always great there, either. You get what she means about things feeling impossible. But here, on Alternia, it's different. You've been put here for narrative reasons. That alone makes it feel like you can make a difference, subvert this callous and awful empire.
It only feels that way because you haven't lived in it every day of your life. But I guess I don't know what it's like where you're from either.
Her energy wanes. She's not dying, but she's in no state to move right now. She needs a while to recover and patch herself up. You've decided. You're going to find a way out, or to get the data yourself so you can come back and help her escape. You'll be as quick as you can, then come back to get her. You promise?
You don't have to do this. Any of it. You could leave and get yourself out of here.
You know that. But you've already made up your mind to stay and see this through. It's what friends do.
You're such a weirdo.
You and Marsti form a clasping handshake, gripping each other's wrists. You leave her with the emergency bag, taking only your little pistol as you prepare to journey down further into the ventilation system.
Wait. I might have to move. Once I can. I'll try to find you. Get back to the vents if you find anything.
Roger. You give her a little salute, which she mimics weakly. It takes a lot to make yourself leave. Your heart pangs at you to stay, not wanting to leave her wounded and by herself. But right now, you're sitting ducks. The best thing you can do for her is try to make sure this isn't all for nothing. With that in mind, you carry forward, using your palm husk as a flashlight. Pretty soon you can't even hear her breathing behind you. 1. You climb through the vents for what feels like ages, climbing ladders, and falling down more than a few sudden drops. It takes you a surprising time to find another exit, and it lands you back in a hallway identical to the first. Self-voicing disabled.
Let's check the messages. Thinking of making a change? I guess you'll know soon either way along.
Self-voicing enabled. You have no way of knowing what floor you're on or where to go from here. As you're trying to decide your next move, footsteps approach from behind you. Self-voicing disabled.
Another one from Sarava. Are you going Bazg to Moisture Wave? Okay, I don't know who Groovy Acerbic is yet.
Self-voice. You whirl around, considering the weapon in your pocket. But you can't bring yourself to ready the firearm, and before long, it's too late. The figure rounds the corner.
There you are. It looks like I've finally found you.
You back up a couple steps, your hands up. A swallow pulses down your throat.
Yes, it's been a long time. Do you remember? It's me, our daughter Carmia, your friend. Well, I'm waiting. Don't you have something to say? We haven't seen each other in sweeps and sweeps. Not since you left. I can't imagine what you must be thinking. Of course, that isn't a problem for me. I don't have to.
Oh, no. That's right. She can.
Read my... So you do remember. What a relief to see your pitiful think-pan hasn't completely buckled under all of the excitement. I was a little worried you might be brain dead. I've been expecting you. You might like to know your delay has been very disappointing to me. Come along. We have so much to discuss.
Our data, come along. We have so much to
Voice
discuss.
actor's really hamming it up there.
She turns to walk down the hall. This is your chance, isn't it?
To
Save slot 5. Close. Run.
Alright, let's try run.
Run. Run. The idea gets to your legs about as soon as it gets to your head. You make a break for it down the opposite length of the hallway, hugging the inner curve of the corridors. The world blurs together while sadistic laughter rings out behind you, echoing so powerfully throughout the hard surfaces of the walls and floor that it seems to come from everywhere at once. Your adrenaline rises. Something about this is terribly wrong. Before long you're lost, disoriented. In a panic, you reach for the nearest door and to your relief, it opens. That relief doesn't last for long. Metal spikes burst from the room's interior, perforating your little alien body. As they retract, you slump down into a pool of your own blood. Your thoughts grow fuzzy and distant as you hear the familiar click of heels down the hall. Our data appears above you, a hanging, dark shape but for the glint of her 3 eyes.
How sad. You would really rather die than speak to me?
She crouches down by your head. One gloved hand comes to gently stroke your brow.
You really are
Okay.
impressively cruel.
Impressive.
The council will see you now.
Okay.
Try.
Come along.
She turns. Take out
I
the
know
gun.
this one's going to end in a failure.
It's
so
an impulsive
sorry.
decision, but with your mind filled with images of spilled maroon, you follow it. With her back turned, you reach into your pocket, your heart hammering. and you pull the laser pistol out, locking your arms forward with your grip seized around the handle. Your finger hovers over the trigger. You could do it, take her out now. After all, isn't she a threat to Kirava and Marsti? To all the people in the rebellion? To everything you're here to save? You hesitate. She turns around, settling you with a cool gaze from all three eyes.
Everything?
You have a clean shot. You could take it. The gun wobbles at the end of your limbs. Ardata opens her arms welcomingly, her cape falling to either side.
Go on then. Don't keep me waiting. As it stands, it might be considered merciful.
Your arms wiggle, the tremors so bad you start to worry you might fire on accident. You loosen your finger from the trigger. That's what makes you realize. You can't do it. You just can't kill another person. Not even after everything you've seen. You send a little mental apology out to Marsti and Kirava. Without you willing it, your arms lower and slip the gun back into your pocket. The shaking has stopped.
I had a feeling. If you're done being foolish, I've prepared brunch.
Ardata leads you to a dark, moody room washed in distinctively on-brand cerulean light. It's a large space with a variety of equipment and personal effects. This seems like the heart of her operations. You try to smother the thought, but it surfaces. There are so many computers here. One of them is bound to have the clearance to view the past outgoing communications from the training satellite. If you could just get to one, that's it. Mission accomplished. Ardata gracefully sets herself down on one of two chairs next to a small table, beckoning you to the other. At either seat, two covered plates and a set of cutlery await. You're not particularly hungry, but perhaps your nerves are spoiling your appetite. Quit. Save slot. Ardata great. Load Right. This was the plan. You'll occupy Ardata to buy Marsti some time. You'll also admit to a hint of cautious curiosity towards your non-lethal reception. Just a hint. You're not stupid, just, well, let's not rule out the possibility of your being a little stupid, just for honesty's sake. The point is you plan to stay on your toes. You fall in step behind her, trying to clear your mind. This is your chance to do what you do best, whatever that is, exactly. Time to find out. Ardata leads you to a dark, moody room washed in distinctively on-brand cerulean light. It's a large space with a variety of equipment and personal effects. This seems like the heart of her operations. You try to smother the thought, but it surfaces. There are so many computers here. One of them is bound to have the clearance to view the past outgoing communications from the training satellite. If you could just get to one, that's it. Mission accomplished. Ardata gracefully sets herself down on one of two chairs next to a small table, beckoning you to the other. At either seat, two covered plates and a set of cutlery await. You're not particularly hungry, but perhaps your nerves are spoiling your appetite.
Go on, I won't bite. Not you, anyway.
Right. This is just a nice brunch catch-up between old friends. Nothing to worry about. Sure. You believe that, 100%. You sit down at your little seat, eyeing the table setting before you. Wary of staying inactive too long for her liking, you take the napkin to lay over your lap, remembering her fondness for table manners. A little smile crawls onto the corner of her lip. Encouraged but wary, you dare reach for the cloche's decorative handle.
No! How dare you! You will not be lifting that platter dough! What kind of miserable wretch do you imagine yourself to be, to spit on my hospitality like that?
Ardata rings a small silver bell on the table.
Watson! Our guest has arrived!
Watson. An olive blood troll emerges from a door in the back of the room, dressed in slacks and a white shirt beneath a black vest. Watson wordlessly comes to your table, lifting the covers off of each plate. An aroma like freshly seared steak hits your nose. An appearance like freshly seared steak also hits your eyes, when you look down at brunch. It brings back memories. One of your memories of all time, for sure.
Yeah, back in Friendsim 1, I think she ate the steak, but then just like left the gristle for you, and then like used her mind control powers to force you to eat it.
Watson lays Ardata's napkin across her lap before bowing and excusing himself out of the same door in the back of the room. You're waiting for the other sauterpod casing to drop. When she takes up her own fork and knife to eat, only then do you think to do the same. You don't want to cause more offense than you already have.
Of course not. That is so very like you to be so considerate.
Yes. Of course. Consideration is your middle name. MS Paint Consideration Adventure Reader is a little joke you would make were you privy to that sort of extra textual intel.
Enough. I will inform you when our conversation requires your characteristic frivolity. How is your food? Are you enjoying it?
It's then you realize that your arms are moving on their own, now. Sawing the meat into manageable bites, lifting it to your mouth, even your chewing is automatic. It's disconcerting. To put it lightly. You realize now why she's allowed you to keep your gun. You guess it's no threat to her if you can't use your own arms to fire it, no matter the reason. With your mouth full, the best you can do to answer her question is to think it, objectively, it's good food. Probably one of the better things you've had the fortune to eat in a while. If you'd had a choice, you might have eaten it anyway.
I am so glad. I remembered, of course, our first meeting. I want you to understand the impression you've made. That fateful meal changed the very direction of my life. Consider this an apology for all the unpleasantness, if you feel you require one.
That's a surprise. You guess a good one. You're about a third through your steak, now.
You must have so many questions. What has happened to your good friend Ardata in your absence? How she feels about being abandoned by you, her only friend. You must be wondering what nefarious plans I have in store, what vengeance I must be waiting to grow ripe before it is extracted like the bloodgut of an insatiable tick-thief. I will permit you to speak your inquiry. Go on.
True to her word, volition returns to your vocals. But you hesitate. What should you ask first? What item is of the utmost importance, right now? Save. Save. Save slot. Save. Save. Close. How? A new look comes over her face. She looks wistful, or perhaps even tired.
Imagine it. Imagine the heartbreak of a young troll to make her very first friend, only for them to disappear. I wondered to myself, what had happened? Did you so regret meeting me? I hated you more than you can ever know. But perhaps I have you to thank. For the first time in my life, my content was motivated. It was like I had a spark, that taste of something, the potential of it. It made me hungry. It made me cruel. Your replacement. To me, they all had your face. Your blood. Ah, yes, that face you're making right now. That's the face from my dream. I got over it, of course. Realized how silly I was being. A high blood like myself, driven to obsession over the friendship of a single alien. How pathetic. How truly pathetic. bitterness and desperation are hardly attractive. I learned this and many other things, clinging to my dreams of one day becoming someone's true friend.
I think you actually did run into her one other time in Friendsim 1. I think during whatever that troll is, that's the conspiracy theorist one. I think, if not in that quest, in that line, in that volume, I think, but I could be wrong.
But do you know what is attractive? What no troll can bring themselves to resist?
You don't. You don't want to guess, either, though one guess you will make is that you won't have a choice. Her lips split into a generous grin.
A good story. That's right. My brand reached new heights of sweet sadism in your bitter wake. But it was the vulnerability that drew in the viewers, I believe. Everyone could see it now. The cracks in my heart. Everyone was watching with bated breath for the great Ardata to break. But I never did. In fact, they're still watching. Not just the Wiggler's planet side, but the highest seats in the Alterniad military. They were so fond of my inspired content that, upon conscription, I was immediately promoted directly to head of the propaganda division. Yes, they were so impressed by my stylish bloodthirst and eye for the infliction of suffering. They even built me this shitty, hideous tower so that I could run my show forever. Isn't it funny? After that one thing kept me going for so long, the fragile hope of leaving my horrific circumstances behind me.
So it kind of seems like they're taking her entire arc from Friendsim 1 and just kind of like undoing it, which, you know, I mean, is the thing.
Nothing has changed for me at all. Go on, laugh. You must see the hilarity in my situation. It's written plain as the fangs on my face.
Your face warps into a smile, and your chest heaves with laughter along with her until tears prick the corner of your eyes. For every available reason, you feel pretty horrible. You're not being miserly with the regrets, tonight. You don't feel the need.
But enough. There must have been other things you wanted to ask.
Nefarious plans. Let's go with the...
What I have planned for you. Oh, I think you will be delightfully surprised. Yes, I'm imagining the surprise on your face right now. It is quite delicious. I have waited for this moment for some time. Are you ready to be surprised?
You, guess. Can one be ready to be surprised? Isn't the whole point of...
Shush! You are ruining it. I forgive you.
You wait a little.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Then a little longer. Then you figure that is probably too much waiting. So, what's the surprise?
How funny! You don't get it!
Her deranged cackling continues on for a few moments more. You begin to sweat beneath your hoodie while you wait for her laughter to die, and then the echoes as they bounce across the dramatic, vaulted ceilings.
Nothing! My vengeance is nothing. I forgive you. There, you are all caught up. The time for your questions is now done. Now, I believe it is my turn. You've seen my tower. My new home.
Say,
I think I
load.
missed...
Load slot. Load. Load slot. What's...
Yeah.
How? A new... Select...
Zip, zip, zip,
What?
zip.
Yes, that is his name.
Just Watson?
Yes, his name is Just Watson.
Just Watson.
Just Watson.
Just... Watson.
Yes, Just Watson. Are you satisfied? Are you really so simple as to be awed by the great Ardata maintaining a functional understanding of her acquaintances?
In a way that borders genuine, yes. Oddly. Acquaintance. Does he work here, or is this one of those, less voluntary situations? Like before?
I see. You must take me for a bore. The heartless wiggler of your memories. I can hardly blame you, considering you vanished for ages.
Her grip on her fork is tight enough to shake. You shake a little, too.
You haven't seen the progress I've made. In fact, I've barely even tortured him.
Progress towards, what, exactly? Okay. More laughter. Great. Let's drop Watson as a subject for now.
But enough. There must have been other things you wanted to ask. What Yes, Are you ready to be
You, guess.
Shush! You are ruining.
Can one be... You wait a little, so... What's the surprise?
How funny!
Her deranged
Nothing! My vengeance, There. You are all caught up. The time for your questions is now done. Now, I believe it is my turn. You've seen my tower. My new home. What I've made of myself. Tell me, after all this time, do you still want to be my friend?
Save slot 6.
Well, we've already
Save slot.
covered all
Save.
that, so we can save
Close.
that.
Yes. As you're about to speak, your throat and jaw seize, silencing you. Our data is fixing you with a sharp look that glows out of her 3 yellow eyes. It would be paralyzing even without the aid of her powers.
Don't lie to me.
She releases you. You sit stunned, for a moment, before you realize she's still awaiting your answer. Yes.
Alright, let's try W.
You remember what you said to Marsty, you were put here for a reason. What was that reason, again? Yes. You tell our data, yes. You would like very much to still be her friend. If that is at all possible. She doesn't miss the qualification, you can tell. But the corner of her mouth does twitch. It's less joy or satisfaction that crosses her face, than perhaps, relief.
Let's not make a fuss of things. All I required from you was honesty. Oh, dear me, what an inconsiderate host I've been. I haven't offered you a drink with your dinner. Yes, no longer will you underestimate little Ardata. You will now see my highly developed friendship skills in action. Allow me to demonstrate by pouring you some wine.
Our data reaches into a cart beside the table and pulls out a wine bottle and 2 little silver goblets. She pours one for each of you, and places yours to the top left of your plate.
I'm guessing it's going to be Marsty's blood.
Well, if she wanted to kill you, she probably would have done it already. Or will do it later. Whichever. You lift the goblet to sip in a polite amount. This is not like any wine you've tasted before. You're a little suspicious about the contents. But it's fine, you guess. Our data seems pleased. She grins over the gloved hand her chin rests on.
To friendship. Now, finish your meal, please. Watson worked very hard on it.
You do your best to oblige her. Your arms are your own, and only about half of the dish remains, so it's not necessarily difficult. The only struggle is keeping your mind on a tight leash, as it aches to gnaw at the thought of your burgundy friend.
You probably just ate Marsty.
The wine is not terribly helpful in this regard.
For fuck's sake. This is sad, really. I apologize. How very inconsiderate of me as your friend not to remember you're a bit of a moron. I obviously know all about her, and that rebel friend of yours down in our basement. Did you not realize that already?
Your guts wrench. Kirava. She means the Empire knows about Kirava?
Is that their name? I can hardly be bothered to remember somebody so pathetic. Of course we know about them. How do you think we knew to expect you? In fact, Sirava has been quite helpful in staging intel to the rebels. We've uncovered quite a few squeakbeasts' nests thanks to them.
Our data punctuates the statement by stabbing her fork into the last piece of her steak. You flinch.
And in this case, they just handed us a prime suspect in the latest crime against the Empire. It's quite funny. If only they knew what big fans they had in the AIS.
Kirava, you can't imagine what this knowledge would do to them. That they were being used this whole time. And Marsti, you lead her right into a trap.
I can sense you are worried about your friend. No need. In fact, she's doing quite well. Would you like to see for yourself?
It feels like a rhetorical question. In a few moments, it proves to be as Ardata lifts her wine glass in a graceful arc.
Come, let's have some entertainment with our drinks. The show is about to start.
Ardata takes a little remote from the pocket of her robes, and pushes a button. Instantly, the screens to your left flash from their idle designs to shots from around the facility. You spot telltale drops of blood dotting the hallways, and even with the colors washed out, somehow you know it's maroon. Suddenly, you see her, Marsti darts down the view of one of the cameras, ducking into the alcove of a doorway. She's clutching her bloodied side, darting her gaze around in a panic. Your stomach lurches. Ardata watches, perfectly still. She spies a narrow ledge of decorative wall running around the edges of her hiding place. Behind her, a guard approaches with his assault rifle drawn as she jumps to grab the lip, straining to pull herself up into the corner with her back to the wall. As he rounds into the alcove, she catches him by surprise, landing and pinning him to the ground. His gun goes scattering away. You fail to restrain a whooping cheer. Yes. Go Marsti. She quickly slings the shotgun forward from her back, aims the gun to the fallen guard, and hesitates. Only for a moment. Shotgun fire. His head becomes a dark, splattered shape. Your hoop staggers a little. Ardata folds a hand politely to her chin.
Oh no, Jeffrey.
You're transfixed on the image of Marsti standing over the dead guard when the screens shut off. Your attention turns back to Ardata, the remote still in her hand.
She's immune to my psychic powers. I wonder if she knows. Did your friend even think to warn her? Did you?
Guilt. Familiar, racking guilt. How is it possible to forget so many important things in so little time? What will it take for you to learn? If you had only remembered to message Ardata sooner, if you had only thought to stop Konye. If only.
Enough. Your petty regret is meaningless. The Empire is more powerful than any of you or your little friends, whoever they are, have possibly imagined. They are always watching, always a few steps ahead. So you see, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. They all would have died anyway, in service to her imperial condescension. You'll be relieved to know they never even had a chance.
You have to tell Kirava the truth. You have to make up for being so naive.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. Sirava is alive for as long as they're useful. When that usefulness runs out, well... I shouldn't have to tell you. As for Marsti, she wants to kill me so badly I can almost taste it. You'll help me, of course, because we are such good friends.
Help. Marsti is your friend too. Your brain struggles to find a way to get you and her out of this situation. Ardata notices.
I can understand her. Perhaps I can even spare a little sympathy for one of my most popular characters. The audience is thrilled with her. But I'm not about to die. Not just as I've found my spark again. It's decided. You'll help me with Marsti, when the time comes. We should have a few more hours before she gets to the top floor. I mean, if she makes it through the Crushers.
Oh, God. You do not want to know what the Crushers are. Your imagination is already providing you with plenty of nightmares as it is. You shove down your panic. You have to keep your cool. There's nothing you can do for Kirava right now. If you're lucky and resourceful, maybe you'll find a way to take care of that in the future. For now, your options are limited. You're sticking with the plan. Maybe there's still a way out of this. You need to believe that, for their sake, more than that, you need to try.
How sentimental.
In contrast to her earlier megalomania, right now our data seems dull and lethargic. She scrapes a fork in circles around her empty plate. The arena stickball is, apparently, in your court. Save. Save.
I
Save.
keep that one.
Save slot
We
5,
can get rid of
Friday,
this one.
May 12, 2023, 21:52, Route 4, an old Fryian selected. Save. Are you? Save slot 4. Won't the Empire be upset she's harboring an alien? Load.
Actually,
Load. Load slot 3, Friday, May 12, 2023, load.
I want to
Load
retry
slot 3.
this one. Before I get too far, and I probably already am.
Stay and
too
help.
far.
No, that's silly. You don't have to be a Gritspop streamer to make a difference. Kirava focuses you with a familiar, suspicious glare.
So you think it's dumb too, huh?
No, you swear. You get that the music is cool, and you like it too. You really love what Kirava has done with the brand. But like they said, the rebellion is counting on them, and if it's possible to change a whole empire, then why not the life of one troll? Who knows what Kirava Hermod can really do, if they never even let themselves try.
Damn, I didn't expect you to pull some profound shit like that on me. I get where you're coming from, but it's hard to even imagine myself doing something else. This is literally the only shit that's ever made sense to me. The only shit I've been able to think mattered.
That's not true at all, you tell them. There's something they're forgetting. Something they've had for as long as they've known you.
What are you talking about? Wait. Oh god. If you say
Friendship. While Kirava is busy being impressed with you, Marsti returns through the front door. It almost, won. A moment of awkward silence hangs between. Selected.
Okay, it looks like it's not really too different.
Skip. Skip. Skipping.
Zipping through. Where'd the auto voicing go? Zip, zip, zip.
Yes, that is his.
Okay, we can save over this one now. I want to go this route anyway, so... I don't know, just for reference, let's try going no.
Don't
Come on.
lie to me.
As you're about to speak, your throat jaw silencing you, Ardata is fixing you with a sharp look that glows out of her 3 yellow eyes. It would be paralyzing. Okay, looks like no matter what you pick there, it's going to be another option. She releases you. You sit stunned for a moment before you realize she's still awaiting your answer. What happened to the auto voicer? No, you can't bring yourself to look past what you saw today. You can't remain friends with someone like her. Ardata pauses for a long moment. Your gut tightens. Your breath
Oh,
goes into
please.
your chest.
None of that. Why would I be bothered? Who could possibly be insulted by a rejection from a creature as disgusting and pathetic as you? Then again, if not even you want me, then what does that say? Perhaps I'm the disgusting one.
Well, looks like this is kind of the, might be the good ending, or not. Her eyes flicker towards you across the small...
What do you think?
What do you think? Doesn't
Go
she
on.
know that already?
I want you to say it. Say I'm disgusting.
You open your mouth to refuse, but it does something else. You feel it form the words, one after the other. Smile dawns on her face about the same time as your stomach drops. This is not going well.
There. Now, where are my manners? I haven't offered you a drink with dinner.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it doesn't realize that I've already seen this. You reach for it, you think it's sweet. Let's see. Can I turn the auto voicer back on? No, it looks like I messed that up. You're fine. You're just suddenly very tired and dizzy and poisoned. Oh, yeah, it's a different text. Definitely poisoned. You collapse face first into the remainder of your steak. Cold feeling spreading through you, Ardata watches dispassionately. Though your vision dims, you see her lift up her own goblet and drink. Fine wine and dine. Who's that? Oh, that must be Watson. Okay. Oh, so a murder-suicide thing, I see. Oh, that's certainly a thing. When there's something to say, who is she? No one that matters. If you got here, means you figured out there's nothing revolutionary about friendship. But your playable character wants to be our daughter's friend, and that's a fun contradiction. Your playable what? Relax, I'm not talking to you. You can't answer me, you don't exist in this world. Don't these visits feel a little insulting? Why can't you just entrust it to create a story on your own? A lack of confidence? Does it pulling back the curtain draw too much attention to the farce? The story knows it's fake, so tries to make you fake it too. I need to understand you're welcome, but I trust you to figure it out. Stranger gives her a theatrical bow. Darkness creeps in at the edge of her senses.
Don't lie to me.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay, and now I can save over this one. Now I'm actually going to load this one. Hopefully that will fix the auto voicer. Shoot. Let's see here. Well, if I'm going to have to be reading this myself, I'm going to get something to drink quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I whipped up some emergency grog here. Or actually, I could probably just do this. Yes, and reopen it. You get to enjoy my wonderful desktop background for a minute here. Alright. And yes, it is a World of Warcraft. Alright, restarting it. For some reason, the recording software I'm using for this one can't record the actual game, so I gotta focus it on just an area. Come on. Come on. There we go. The app is running. Oh, I'm betting the auto voicer probably let's get that out of there. I'm betting the auto voicer just kind of freaked out or something. No, it is not closing properly. So, okay, I gotta close now. Let's try it. Okay, it's opening. At least I think it is. Okay, I should have just rolled with it. Oh, it's not even booting up. Yeah, it's using 0 CPU, 0 memory. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop here and hopefully I can get it rebooted and whatever and get back into the stream without the stream